Today is actually the official day that they would be in quarantine with full copper. I've got this Neon Goby who's pretty awesome. This guy is beautiful. I've had him now for over a month. But so he's been through general cure, he's been dewormed. He's going through full blown copper now, and he's been totally just healthy and voraciously eating. So he's gorgeous. So he's going to go into the main display tank out in the living room. And then over here, I love Firefish. They're gorgeous fish. And you'll see this lemon peel right here. So basically what's happened is I started with two and one jumped out. Yeah, so I lost one and was sad because I did so much to try and cover. So if you notice over the Neon Goby, what I did was I just got some egg crate and I zip tied some crochet plastic, which I thought was small. But there's like little gaps in the back and in here. So on this guy, now he's thoroughly reinforced with a double layer of the crochet matting. Every little gap is covered. There's black zip ties underneath holding a black version of this on the bottom and as well as on top. So I ended up going to my local fish store and I picked up two more Firefish. They're just beautiful fish, and actually they are so much more confident with more than two. I noticed having three, so that's probably a good number. But they had a fish that I wanted to get when I first started researching getting into the hobby, a lemon peel angel, and it was not super expensive. He was only about, I think it was like $24.99, and I've not seen this fish before at my local fish stores, and I don't think I've seen him on Live Aquaria. And I was like, oh man, so I had to get him. So I picked him up, picked up two more Firefish. So since I put the new fish in here, this other fish guy is going to start over for 30 days, which is fine because actually I should keep him in there for 40 days. The destruction of any kind of marine velvet. So make sure that they're going to go through there for 30 days. But so far they're doing okay. The lemon peel angel, he's eating right now. I'm feeding him some Seaweed Extreme, which he's been eating great. I use the Clearly Complete from Sustainable Aquatics. I feed these a lot since I got into the hobby. And then some freeze-dried brine shrimp, which I soak with some vitamins and garlic. And I also feed them frozen foods twice a day. And this guy is going to need some algae. So the Seaweed Extreme kind of helps with that, but he's definitely going to need some algae. So I do have, I have a whole bulk of ocean nutrition algae that I have. So I'll include that in his regimen. But so far so good. This is a 7.5 gallon tank that somebody locally here makes. It's a good deal. They've been selling this for about $30. The angel, I was worried that he'd be a little aggressive, but he's not technically too aggressive towards them. Not as aggressive as this Neon Goby. This guy was just beating up. I had the Firefish in here thinking that, just the two and then him and it'd be fine, but no, he was not having it. So he's pretty aggressive. The angelfish technically is not that aggressive from what I see, and the Firefish don't seem to be hiding and trying. They don't look stressed out like they did when they were with the Neon Goby. Although I do see the angel kind of showing his dominance in here, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. I know the tank is small, but he's actually quite tiny. He's probably no more than maybe 2 inches. But hopefully this is strictly temporary. So anyway, I just wanted to showcase these guys because I just love Firefish. And they're super inexpensive for such a beautiful fish. And then I just love this Neon Goby. Yeah, so these guys are sitting right here, and I just have these inside my office because that just makes it easier for me to kind of keep an eye on them. So, get that focused. Yeah, very simple setup. Small 7.5. Actually, this one's even smaller. This is a 4.5 gallon, 7.5 gallon. So I can only keep one guy in there. They're cycled, so it's great. It's pretty much a Aqueon hang on the back, but it's just stuffed with foam. And then these guys have been seated in my display tank, they've all been quarantined, they've been doing great. Same thing here. I just have this little mat here, and I put the cover on this guy because it just adds to plug and pull the holes in case they dart, the Firefish jump out. This guy doesn't jump out. I like to leave it open because it's actually quieter. There's enough surface agitation. There's surface agitation here as well. I do have a massive air stone in here, or a pump, but I have it on a valve. Temperature, I usually keep these guys at about 80.6, 80.4. I like to keep it a little warm during quarantine to kind of expedite the life cycle of either the ick or the marine velvet, or any of those parasites that might be there that might kind of show themselves faster. It also increases the metabolism, I believe, of the fish, which kind of helps a little bit. So yeah, so they're doing really good. Oh, actually, I can show you what I typically use to quarantine. I'm using, so okay, this is the trick. I'm using copper power. It's a chelated version of copper. It's totally old school, but it's, in my experience, a lot safer than cupramine. It stays in the water. What's nice about it, though, is that it's not as, it doesn't seem to be, and I've quarantined now several fish, several times on different batches of fish. This doesn't seem to be as stressful on them. For on two with copper, or with copper power at least, I have not had a challenge or a problem with. I did this before when I had an outbreak of marine velvet. I had to quarantine about 7 fish. You can see it in my thread on Reef to Reef. And the combination of these two things, if I did it faster, would have saved all my fish. I didn't do it fast enough, thinking that it was ick, and it did take away. I lost a bristletoothed tang and a scorpion fish that I just completely adored. I just love these guys, man. This guy's just gorgeous. I just love the little flicking dorsal, and they're just so happy with 3 of them. They just, 1 and 2 were just hiding like crazy, and now with 3, they're totally cool. Anyways, all right, I'll keep updates on this as well. All right, thank you.